Hi guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I have broken my tripod, and I have 3 days of filming coming up, so I've got to get that taken care of, but for now, we're going to have to continue the rest of the videos with this, like, jacked up. Maybe it's better, I don't know. But here's Delilah. I'm going to be making a video on her next on how I obtained her from a yard sale for $97 out of $100. She is the love of my life, and I will never let go of her. And you know that, don't you, girl? She's gorgeous. So, back with the continuation of my witchy books and what I've collected over the time that I've been practicing witchcraft. And I think I left off with some, like, controversial stuff, so go back on my last video if you want to hear about that, and I'm sure that you'll get a glimpse more into that because there's more to come. But what's not controversial with witchcraft, right? Like, nothing is conventional, and nothing in life is, like, super conventional, and I think that's what makes it fun, but maybe it's me. So, I want to talk about religious holidays in witchcraft. And if you're into kitchen Wicca, this Supermarket Sabbats book is fantastic. It's not by Scott Cunningham, but it's something that is inspired by, like, Wicca in the kitchen for me. And so if you want to bring the Sabbats into your kitchen, this is an excellent book. And I use it a lot for reference. Like, for instance, like, these 3 books that I'm about to show you, that one being the first one. When it comes time for a Sabbat or a Wheel of the Year, this is a great book to have just as a staple, just to kind of look up some interesting things throughout history that have gone on, what you can bring into your holidays for Sabbats. And the last one is this, The Magical Year. Again, I use this for reference when I'm getting ready to prepare for a Sabbat. And if you don't know what a Sabbat is, it's a magical holiday. Like, for instance, Christmas is Yule. And there are many other Christian holidays that relate directly to neo-pagan or witchcraft holidays. So look into those, you guys. Alright, next. You guys know I have pets. You know I love cats. Bastet is my goddess. So for me, it was really important to look into what a witch's familiar is. And this woman, Raven G, I think has written loads of books, none of which I've read. I've gotten into this book a little bit because I have 5 cats. All of them live outside because it's the summertime right now. So, if you want to understand a little bit more about familiars and where they come from traditionally, this is a great book to have. Now, the next book I'm going to... Oh, there's the back of it. The next book I'm going to show you is very interesting, and you guys know that I'm an herbalist. You know I'm an herbal witch. So this is really important. The Plant Spirit Familiar. Because if you work with plants at your altar, in your room, and you feed them daily with water and or DNA, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you know what I mean when I say DNA, you'll understand how cool plants can be as familiars, especially basil, rosemary, mugwort. Woo, you guys. Have a mugwort as a familiar. If you can channel that, look into this book and see if that's something that works with you. I really like the Plants as Familiars, and that's a book that I was just drawn to at a Half Price Books when I came across it. So I really like that. And now this book does not have to do with witchcraft whatsoever. It is just the medicinal properties of herbs, which I think is really cool to tie into. And when we did the astral projection tea that I made, we tied in mullein as a breathing aspect. That has no aspects for breathing in witchcraft, but with this book I was able to understand that mullein was excellent for breathing, and then was able to tie it in both medical, medicinal, and magical herbs. So if you tie this book and Scott Cunningham's encyclopedia for magical herbs, you can really come up with something great, both on the medical and magical aspect, which there's a lot of witches out there that do YouTube channels on that, and I was inspired by that greatly. If you guys don't know Lady Gravedancer, this is the first YouTuber I've ever talked about, but she is my deepest inspiration. I love her so much, and Lady Gravedancer, Tequila, if you ever hear this video, I love you, and I really want to communicate with you. I want to, speak with you on a personal level, because you inspired me in my craft, and everything that I speak about is really based on what you taught me via YouTube, and that's what inspired me to teach you guys. So Lady Gravedancer, if you haven't checked her out, check her out. And then I want to talk about some books that I haven't read yet, but that I've purchased because I was drawn to them. And because I just thought, for the price, I need to have that in my collection. So first I'll say I have this book, The Alchemy of the Grail. And it talks about this man going on his spiritual journey. And I've not read it yet, but I've just been drawn to it. So I can't say too much about it besides the fact that it's in my collection. Now, I want to talk about something really cool. And say that here's a book I haven't really looked into, but when I did open it up, it had a whole 4-page section on Mandrake, which I'll be making a video just on the information of this book, okay, you guys? I'm so stoked to tell you all about it. Here's a picture of what Mandrake looks like, and when I told you that it will form a face and genitals, legs, and arms, I'm not kidding you. And then that Mandrake apple, the Sleeping Beauty, the Snow White apple that they ate and fell asleep for 3 days and then woke up again and people thought they were dead, came from the top of this plant. So, this book is fantastic, and I will read all of the pages of this, I think, in the moonlight tonight or tomorrow. I'm really excited because this will be new information for me to you guys. As soon as I found this, I was like, no, I'm not reading it. I'm going to share this with my friends. So beautiful, so cool. So much information on the aphrodisiacs. Okay, so next I want to talk just a smidge about religion, because I think no matter where you came from, religion in a positive or a negative aspect has probably affected your life. And for me, that resonates really true in both ways. So I want to say that somebody that I've come across after Christianity was brought into my life as a young child, and who truly inspired me to be a beautiful human, was Paramahansa Yogananda. And if you haven't read Autobiography of a Yogi, please read it. This man came to the United States in, I believe, the 1920s and brought Hindu culture and understanding of awakening, what we know of the third eye awakening. It all ties together, you guys. Meditation, soul connection, understanding your connection with the universe, out that window, you know? Being one with the universe and connecting your DNA to it, and then resonating with it on this ultimate level that I can't explain. But these scientific healing affirmations, I thought it was called positive healing affirmations, these are fantastic. They're kind of they can be kind of like Bible verses, but not Bible-ish. They're just talking about more of law of attraction, positive ways to bring things into your life. And honestly, Paramahansa Yogananda, please look into it. So beautiful. So unexplainable. And then I'm also getting into conjure. And this book talks a little bit about conjuring. So I kind of have this for a reference right now. And I got this inexpensive at my half-price books. And then in a connection to conjure, if you're into conjure uses psalms, okay? And from what I understand from hoodoo practitioners and such, the reason why we use psalms in conjure is because I don't want to be controversial. Look into it. Look into the people that started Conjure and why they use Psalms and Bible verses. And then I'm just going to hold up my Masonic Bible, which is a family heirloom of my husband's family. And you can look up any normal Bible verse in this. But it's special to me because, I don't know, it's not exactly personal. But I love Masonic things, and my Atame is Masonic, and a lot of my things are the Order of the Eastern Star, and I just like it. So I'm not going to exactly say why, but I will say that Jesus was a part of me becoming a really good, positive child, and whether I believe in Jesus or not today was a real person doesn't matter, to be quite honest. It was an influence in me being a good person, and that's all that resonates with me today, and that's all that matters to me today. If you have more questions on my belief in Jesus, please message me. Please, you guys. Because I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Catholic. I am not a Wiccan. I practice witchcraft. I love myself. I believe in karma, and I believe in this whole circle that happens. So I hope I'm explaining this to you right. Like, you don't have to have a set religion for witchcraft, which I love. Okay, now, on to some more books. This book is excellent for a reference book because it's like this huge encyclopedia of things that have gone on through time. You know? Seriously, there's like really cool pictures. I'm not gonna say, like, I couldn't find mandrake root in it, which was really weird, and I was kind of thrown off by that, but it was okay. Also, this is fantastic. I just picked it up as a reference. It's kind of the, oh, and it's by that Raven G, again, which is, I think, is really popular in the witchcraft world. I just haven't read loads of her stuff. So, anyway, this Encyclopedia of Witchcraft, Wicca, and Neo-Paganism. I didn't show you the back. I don't even know if you can read that or pause it, but basically, you guys, I have a couple more books to show you. 3. And then talk about my typewriter. So, I'm not a person who does a lot of things at once. I'm a procrastinator. So if you guys are too, don't feel bad about it. Just make sure that you get it recorded in a video, or the Pagan and Amino app, where you like do a book of shadows via you putting what you did that day onto some kind of recording. I started a book of shadows in this little journal, but then I just started sharing things with my friends via the Pagans and Witches Amino app or YouTube videos, and I just found that like so much more fulfilling. So this way I get to do a book of shadows or a grimoire that's personalized to me, where I can actually watch my videos back and see what I'm doing. So you do whatever works. Also, I don't tend to write in this anymore, so I type my spells on a typewriter, over here, do my spell, over here, back, step by step, you know. Do it however works for you. If having your book of shadows or your grimoire right next to you and then writing in it as you're doing your spell is what works for you, then that's what you should do. And lastly, I just got this at like a local shop, and it was something when I was first getting into the moons. I was like, do you have something at your little metaphysical shop that talks about the full moons, the new moons, etc., and what's going on, like what planets are in retrograde? And this is just something that the woman in Greenwood at the Crow's Nest Apothecary had written herself and then put out, and then I bought it, and it, to be honest, I think she gave it to me for free, which is great. So now I'm on to the book. So if you are 13 years or under, push stop. Don't watch this video anymore. Okay? Because the next books I'm going to show that were under this candle are not exactly like for young people. Okay? So enjoy. Nice to meet you. Had a good time. Off to the next books. Okay, so I have sex spells, And this relates to gnosis. So go back to my video on gnosis and law of attraction and look up how you can use sex and spells. I don't really want to go into detail, but I will with friends. So, also, sexual practices of the Druids. Just remember that magic is energy, and sex is like a huge, huge energy. So, that's all I have to say about that. And then super quickly at the end of this video, I'm just going to like put up some Crowley books that I use as a reference because again, he was a practical magician. Yes, he was a horrible man, but he did more practical magic on record than a lot of other people that I can accord to. So, especially his magic with treatment of addiction. Okay, which comes back to a lot of the spells I do for people and spells I do for myself. So, honestly, just make sure you look into all the aspects of magic. The positive, the negative, the side you like, the side you don't like. Because here's what's important. That you know all the parts, so that when somebody talks to you and says, oh my god, you're a witch, or when you finally come out to them and you say, yeah, I'm doing witchcraft, I'm a witch, that they can say, Aleister Crowley, blah, 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 and you can be like, listen, Crowley did this, and I do this. Like, be able to explain your craft, and that's what I feel is so important. Right, girl? We think... I love her. Right, girl? We think that this is so important to explain your craft. So, please make sure that you know all of the aspects, and that you're able to love yourself fully before you, and be comfortable with everything you're doing fully before you project it out there to other folks, because they're not going to understand, you guys. They have Hollywood influence. I had Hollywood influence before I understand all of this stuff. And probably so did you. Maybe not. Like, not everybody has it, but like, if you're grown up with TV and Hollywood, you probably have Hollywood influence for what you know of witchcraft and the word Wicca. So, look into it. Buy books that resonate with you, that you're drawn to at the bookshelf. Just, if you can afford them, grab them. Don't barter. Never barter for magical tools, and books are definitely magical tools. So don't ask for a lower price. Just take it as it is. And I can't remember if that was from Scott Cunningham or somewhere else, but it's really important. And I think that it's important that we don't try and barter for magical tools. Just whatever somebody's asking, just give it to them in full love and full light. You guys, I love you. It was so cool. I'm so happy to show you all my books, and every time I get a new book and I read it, I hope to show that to you again. Have the most blessed day, and I'll be back for loads more videos. Thanks, guys.